Welcome to the Taking Control of Growth webinar. My name is Richard Klein. I'm President of Community and Environmental Defense Services, or CEDS. Here you see some of our many web pages. Everything you're about to hear will be found on these and other web pages that you can access by going to the main CEDS website at the address you see here. Since 1969, I've been helping people to defend their neighborhood and environment from the effects of land development projects. I started CEDS in 1987 after running the Maryland Save Our Streams program for 10 years. Each of the red markers that you see here is a location where we've helped folks with a project threatening their quality of life. We're a nationwide network of professionals who are dedicated to this mission. This presentation is divided into 3 parts. Each part takes about 20 minutes. In part 2, I'll describe how to prevent individual development projects from harming your quality of life. In the last part, I'll explain how you can take control of growth throughout a town, city, county, or watershed. I'll begin with an example, though, of how these 2 approaches were applied to a real-world situation. I'll do this using our recent case from Poolesville, Maryland. Poolesville is a town of 5,500 people, located about 20 miles to the northwest of Washington, D.C. As part of the 2011 comprehensive planning process, Poolesville residents were surveyed about their biggest concerns regarding the future of their town. 3 issues topped the list: preserving the character of Poolesville, clean water, and the related issue of too much growth. The survey led to a consensus that to preserve small town character, Poolesville population should not exceed 6,500 residents. The cap was adopted by the Poolesville Town Commissioners. The factors which prompted widespread support for the cap included diminishing water supply, insufficient sewage treatment capacity, increase in traffic volume, school overcrowding, and other quality of life factors. This graph shows that when current population was combined with that would come from approved but unbuilt homes, only 471 more residents could be added through new growth. A 96-unit residential project called Willshire was proposed for the farm field that you see at the top. This farm field is proposed next to the Poolesville town core. It also joins several historic buildings and a town park as well. Many Poolesville residents cherished the view of this farm field as they drove into the town core, but they also respected the owner's right to develop the property. So rather than trying to kill the project, they sought to redesign Willshire so it would provide a reasonable profit for the owners while minimizing impacts to small town character. Our clients were Protect Our Poolesville and the Montgomery Countryside Alliance. The effort was led by Martin Radican, pictured here in the center. Willshire generated community concern due to several quality of life impacts, but foremost was the overall concern that Willshire was much like the typical suburban development. Many Poolesville residents had fled the Washington area suburbs to escape this type of development. Here you see an aerial photo of the Willshire site and the adjoining neighborhoods. The density of the existing neighborhoods ranges from 1 to 1.5 houses per acre. Willshire was proposed at a density of more than 6 units per acre. This density was nearly 4 times that of the adjoining neighborhoods. Many Poolesville residents felt the project should be scaled back to a more compatible density. A number of specific concerns were raised as well. The first of these concerns was the very limited Poolesville water supply. The town is close to the safe limit for the amount of groundwater that can be withdrawn. Poolesville residents wondered if more suburban-style homes was the best use for their remaining excess water supply capacity. Another water concern related to the Darling that you see here. Poolesville is at the headwaters of Seneca Creek. This large stream is very popular for swimming, canoeing, fishing, and other uses. Last February, 1 million gallons of raw sewage spilled from the Poolesville treatment plant and polluted Seneca Creek. Residents wanted the plant upgraded to prevent future spills before more homes were connected to the sewage collection system. The Willshire site adjoins the John Poole House and other historic buildings. The close proximity of proposed suburban-type homes to these buildings jeopardized their historic integrity. Businesses in the Poolesville town core are barely scraping by due to increasing competition with suburban-style commercial development. There was a strong desire to utilize the remaining growth capacity for development that would improve income for town core businesses. There was a belief that those attracted to Willshire would tend to frequent out-of-town businesses they passed during their 20-mile drive home from jobs in the DC area. Many Poolesville students walk or bike to school, others ride buses. Poolesville parents were concerned the traffic volume was reaching the upper limits for pedestrian and cyclist safety. Willshire would add another 900 trips a day to local roads. Poolesville residents are very proud of their high school. In fact, the high school has won national awards. But Poolesville High is one of 92 Montgomery County schools where student enrollment exceeds capacity. The graph on the right shows that of Maryland's 23 counties, Montgomery County has the greatest number of overcapacity schools. Parents were concerned that Poolesville High might go from slightly overcapacity to very crowded if projects like Willshire were approved without better protection measures. It was these issues Poolesville residents sought to resolve with our assistance. Our approach begins with identifying ways to prevent development impacts while allowing the applicant to achieve their goals. Our research showed that the alternate Willshire plan on the right could achieve this equitable solution. The alternate plan cut the number of homes in half. Also, each home would be restricted to seniors, those 55 or older. Because of fewer homes, the alternate plan allowed for greater buffers, giving the project a more small-town feel. It also made possible a hiking-biking path from the Wayland Commons Park to the town core, which should increase the number of folks patronizing local businesses. With regard to the concern about the town's very limited water supply, we advocated a project for seniors because they use far less water. This graph shows that the senior alternative would reduce consumption by 75%. Since water consumed becomes wastewater to be treated, reserving Willshire for seniors reduced water use and therefore reduced the probability of future sewage spills. The alternate plan also helped a great deal with the traffic concern. Willshire, as proposed, would have added 900 trips a day to Poolesville streets. Cutting the project back to the compatible density of 1.5 homes per acre reduced traffic volume by nearly 2/3. Designing the project as senior housing slashed traffic by 80% compared to Willshire as proposed. Here you see a comparison of the number of students added to Poolesville High by Willshire as proposed and the two alternatives. Willshire as proposed would add 14 students. The compatible option reduced the school impact by 2/3. And the senior scenario adds 0 students. In summary, the senior housing option is far more compatible with the quality of life preferred by Poolesville residents. Given the strong market for senior housing in the region, it also allows for a very generous profit for the owners and developers of the Willshire site. All in all, a very equitable solution. Coming up with a sound, equitable solution is just one half of our approach. The other half is demonstrating strong public support for the solution. This is best done through community meetings held by citizens. The folks pictured here are attending such a meeting held by Protect Our Poolesville and the Montgomery Countryside Alliance. A key to getting people to act is to demonstrate that their efforts will make a difference. In Poolesville, this was easier than usual. In 1995, Poolesville voters reversed a decision by the town commissioners to annex a large area. The annexation would have caused water use to greatly exceed the available supply. It also would have added an immense amount of traffic to town streets. By reminding Poolesville residents of this past success and how they won it, they came to understand that victory was not only possible, but it could only come about with their active support. Willshire required the approval of the Poolesville Town Commissioners. The commissioners were coming up for re-election. As a result, the commissioners were particularly responsive to Poolesville residents. After the community meeting and other actions, the commissioners let the applicant know that Willshire's proposed would not fly. You may be wondering, though, what would prevent the commissioners from supporting Willshire after they won re-election? Well, the answer was to elect responsible growth management candidates to the Board of Town Commissioners. Here you see Protect Our Poolesville leader Martin Radican and another candidate being sworn in last November as brand new town commissioners. This brings the first part of this presentation to an end.